How long can you survive on each planet, and what are the consequences? Mercury is the closest planet to the Sun, and surviving here would be nearly impossible. During the day, temperatures can reach around 430 degrees Celsius, which is hot enough to melt lead. At night, the temperature drops to negative 180 degrees Celsius. Mercury has almost no atmosphere, meaning there is no oxygen to breathe and no protection from solar radiation. If a human suddenly appeared on Mercury without a spacesuit, the lack of air pressure would cause oxygen to leave the lungs instantly, and intense heat would quickly overwhelm the body. Within about 10 to 20 seconds, a person would lose consciousness, and survival would likely last no more than 1 minute. Venus might look similar to Earth from space, but it is actually the most dangerous planet in the solar system. The surface temperature is about 470 degrees Celsius, hotter than Mercury, because the thick carbon dioxide atmosphere traps heat in a powerful greenhouse effect. The atmospheric pressure is 90 times stronger than Earth's, which would feel like being nearly a kilometer underwater. If a human appeared on Venus, the crushing pressure and intense heat would destroy the body within seconds. In addition, the clouds are filled with sulfuric acid, making the environment extremely toxic. Survival time on Venus would likely be only a few seconds. Earth is the only planet in our solar system where humans can survive naturally. It has the perfect combination of breathable oxygen, moderate temperatures, liquid water, and protective atmospheric pressure. The atmosphere shields us from harmful radiation and keeps temperatures stable enough for life to thrive. Because of these conditions, humans can live here for decades without specialized protection. Earth serves as the baseline that shows just how rare and special a habitable planet truly is. Mars is often called the most Earth-like planet, but surviving there without protection would still be extremely difficult. The atmosphere is very thin and made mostly of carbon dioxide, which means there is almost no oxygen to breathe. The pressure is less than 1% of Earth's, and temperatures average around negative 60 degrees Celsius. If a human appeared on Mars without a spacesuit, they would quickly suffocate while the cold environment froze exposed tissue. Most people would lose consciousness within 15 to 30 seconds, and total survival would likely last around 1 minute. Jupiter is the largest planet in the solar system, but it does not have a solid surface to stand on. Instead, it is made mostly of hydrogen and helium gas with enormous storms swirling through its atmosphere. If a human somehow appeared in Jupiter's upper atmosphere, they would immediately begin falling through thick clouds. Wind speeds can exceed 600 kilometers per hour, and as the fall continues, the pressure would increase dramatically. Eventually, the crushing force would become strong enough to destroy the human body. Survival time would likely be less than 1 minute.
Saturn is famous for its spectacular rings, but beneath that beauty lies another gas giant with extreme conditions. Like Jupiter, Saturn does not have a solid surface. Its atmosphere is composed mostly of hydrogen and helium, with powerful storms and extremely cold temperatures. If a human entered Saturn's atmosphere, they would quickly encounter strong winds and increasing pressure while falling deeper into the planet. Eventually, the pressure would become so intense that survival would be impossible. A human might survive only a short time before being crushed. Uranus is known as an ice giant because of the icy materials deep within the planet. It is also one of the coldest planets in the solar system, with temperatures dropping to negative 224 degrees Celsius. The atmosphere contains hydrogen, helium, and methane, which gives Uranus its pale blue color. If a human appeared here, the freezing temperatures, lack of oxygen, and intense atmospheric pressure would quickly overwhelm the body. Strong winds would push the person deeper into the atmosphere as conditions became increasingly deadly. Survival would last less than a minute. Neptune is the windiest planet in the solar system. Winds here can reach speeds of over 2,000 kilometers per hour, faster than the speed of sound. The planet is extremely cold, with temperatures around negative 214 degrees Celsius. Like Uranus, Neptune is an ice giant with thick layers of atmosphere. If a human appeared here, the combination of violent winds, freezing temperatures, and crushing pressure would make survival impossible. Within seconds, a person would lose consciousness and be overwhelmed by the extreme environment. Pluto is no longer classified as a planet, but it remains one of the most fascinating worlds in the outer solar system. Temperatures here can fall to -230 degrees Celsius, making it one of the coldest places known. Pluto has a very thin atmosphere composed mostly of nitrogen. If a human stood on its icy surface without protection, the extreme cold would quickly freeze exposed tissue, and the lack of oxygen would cause rapid suffocation. Survival time would likely be between 30 seconds and 1 minute. The Moon is the closest world to Earth, but surviving there without protection would still be impossible. The Moon has no atmosphere, which means there is no oxygen and no air pressure. Without pressure, gases in the body would begin to expand, and the oxygen in the lungs would quickly escape. You would lose consciousness in about 10 to 15 seconds. Extreme temperature changes and radiation from the sun would also threaten survival. Overall, a human might survive for about 1 minute before the lack of oxygen becomes fatal. The Milky Way galaxy is our cosmic home, containing more than 100 billion stars along with planets, nebulae, and mysterious dark matter. From our position inside the galaxy, it appears as a glowing band of light stretching across the night sky. If a human were suddenly placed in open space between stars within the Milky Way, survival would be impossible without protection. There is no oxygen, no air pressure, and temperatures in space can drop extremely low. Within seconds, oxygen would leave the lungs and a person would lose consciousness in about 10 to 15 seconds. Without rescue, survival would last roughly 1 minute before lack of oxygen becomes fatal. Spiral galaxies are some of the most beautiful structures in the universe. These massive cosmic systems contain billions of stars arranged in glowing spiral arms around a bright central core. Our own Milky Way is a spiral galaxy. If you could observe one up close, the scale would be unimaginable. Distances between stars are so vast that even traveling at the speed of light would take thousands of years to cross. In the empty space between stars, a human would face the vacuum of space with no oxygen or pressure. Survival would be limited to only seconds before unconsciousness. Nebulae are enormous clouds of gas and dust floating between stars. These colorful cosmic clouds are the birthplaces of new stars and planetary systems. Inside a nebula, gravity slowly pulls gas together until new stars ignite. While nebulae appear dense and bright in images, the gas inside them is actually extremely thin. If a human entered a nebula, they would still be exposed to the vacuum of space. There would be almost no oxygen to breathe and no pressure to protect the body. Survival would last only seconds before unconsciousness. Black holes are among the most mysterious and dangerous objects in the universe. They form when massive stars collapse under their own gravity, creating a region where gravity becomes so strong that nothing can escape, not even light. If a human approached a black hole, the intense gravity would stretch the body in a process scientists call spaghettification. As you get closer, time itself would appear to slow down. Eventually, the tidal forces would tear any object apart. Survival near a black hole would be extremely short and terrifying. At the center of most galaxies lies a supermassive black hole millions or even billions of times heavier than our Sun. In the Milky Way, this object is called Sagittarius A star. These cosmic giants control the motion of stars across entire galaxies. If a human approached a supermassive black hole, the gravitational forces would grow stronger with every second. As you move closer to the event horizon, the point of no return, escape becomes impossible. Eventually, gravity would stretch and destroy any object that gets too close. Survival near a supermassive black hole would last only moments before the immense forces take over.